Raise Your Energy podcast. I'm Linda Lange and I'm so happy to be here with you today. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you all about my travel that I just returned from. I've been gone for 6.5 weeks, traveled around some countries, and I want to share with you how it was, why I really did it, and what was my biggest takeaway. My biggest aha moment I'm going to share with you today, and much more across the next few episodes. And I'm going to share as well a bit of how it is to be back home after such a long time, and what I'm doing to keep the feelings and the emotions and the experiences that I collected in my travel. And very new to you as well, you can watch this podcast episode now as well on YouTube. I'm recording now every episode. There is even now a video to it as well. If you spend any time on YouTube, you can check me out there. We're gonna link it in the show notes. So let's get started with today's episode. So I just came back over a week ago. When you're listening to this, probably about 2 weeks ago. And yes, I went away for 6.5 weeks traveling across the Americas, which was fantastic. First of all, why did I do it? I actually, just before my travel started, I left my corporate career. So I left my last company and I'm deciding to build my own business. And I said before I really dive deep into my business, I want to take a break. I want to take a break from life and really see something new and have some new experiences. And that's what I did. 1 week after I left and finished my job at Mars, I got on the plane and I flew to Mexico. So first of all, I went to a retreat from Dr. Joe Dispenza, an advanced long retreat with a lot of science knowledge and a lot of meditation. And so to say, that was first of all life-changing and the perfect time to do it. After the retreat, which was in Mexico, I flew over to the US. I visited a friend in Miami. Then I went hiking in the Smoky Mountains. I visited Nashville. I visited and spent New Year's in Denver. And then I actually had nothing planned for after the 2nd of January. I mean, I had the idea of going to the Rocky Mountains. That's why I flew to Denver. I didn't have it really booked yet. I left it open. Something inside of me said, there's something else for you to do in the last 2 weeks of your travel. So I did end up being a week in the Rocky Mountains, which was amazing. And then I actually flew back to Florida and I went to another retreat from Dr. Joe. Yes, I did 2 retreats and I think that was just the perfect serendipity for me. It was meant for me to go to another one just before I came home. So that was kind of what I did in the travel that I did. And of course, this is not a travel blog or a travel podcast episode, so I'm not going to talk you all through of what I actually did in all the cities and places I spent, but I just wanted to give you an idea of where I have spent my time in the last 6.5 weeks. So as I mentioned, I've been to 2 retreats. And I'm not going to go into everything that I experienced now. That would really be too much and I would probably still talk for a few hours. I'm going to share with you a little bit of what happened to me, and I'm going to for sure tell you more and share with you more of the insights that I've gotten during the retreats in my next few podcast episodes. So you will hear all about it, and I will always probably keep referencing back to the retreats. But what I want to share with you today is that it was life-changing. Everybody I've met before who has gone to a Dr. Joe Dispenza week-long retreat just always says the same. It's life-changing. And I can tell you that's exactly how I feel about it, especially after having been to 2 of them. I came out of the first retreat already with significant insights, particularly in the area of self-love. So that was my topic going into the first retreat. I wanted to work on my self-love, and that's what I did. I really discovered it. I'm still at the start of my journey, but for sure I found love inside of me more than I ever felt before, and that was already amazing. So many new experiences, experiencing new energies inside of me, connections to my higher self, the universe. That was already mind-blowing. A much better experience, and yeah, it was just mind-blowing. So I know now as well of how to create more of these feelings inside of me. I don't need really anything outside of me anymore. You might have heard me say that I call this the 3D world in the outside. I have learned now how to bring me or connect with my emotions of love and gratitude and joy from the inside, and I don't need anything anymore in the outside. I don't need anybody in the outside. I don't need to have particular experiences to feel love and gratitude. I can now bring these up for myself, and that was really, life-changing, as you can imagine. So, as I said, I will share more with you over the next few episodes. For sure, the topics will be around meditation, emotions, manifestation. That's going to be a good one. I want to share more with you of what I know now, what I've experienced, and what I'm working on now. So look out for the next few episodes. Make sure that you don't miss them. But let's get into the one big aha moment that I want to share with you today. And it's really linked. So the travel and the time I spent really by myself have really helped me to understand more of it. And it's this realization that this is not how life needs to be. So let me explain more of what I mean by that. It's we all live our lives how we live them. Very individual. Everybody lives a different life. Everybody has a different way of living their life. And quite often we come to a time where we realize that we want to change something about it. We might not be happy in all of the aspects of our life, and we want to experience maybe something else. We want to change something about our lives. And what I have discovered in the last couple of months is a real good understanding and realization that we can do that quite easily. We do not have to live and keep living our lives by the limitations of what we have experienced so far in our lives. Quite often we, and including me until now, we live our lives based on the families we grew up in, the education that we had, the work and life experience that we had since we left school. And we think that the past and all the experiences we have is really kind of already creating our path and controlling our path for the future. And that's really the only kind of channel that you can go into. You can't go left or right much. You cannot just suddenly be this completely different person or have a completely different life. And what I have realized is that you can. We think we are limited beings, but we're not. We are unlimited beings. And if we are unlimited beings, there are limitless possibilities out there for us to experience, to manifest, to create. We are literally the creators of our life. And if we choose to have a completely different life to what we are having now, or change parts of our life that we currently are not so satisfied with, we can do that. We have the power to do it. And that's what I learned throughout the retreats, and that I keep learning now that I'm as well back home. But first, it's this realization of the limitlessness of our beings and the possibilities out there. And not so for me personally, what I have always been living is that you need to work hard to get somewhere, right? You need to work hard to have a career, you need to work hard to have money, you need to work hard to have a good life. That's kind of always what was my understanding. And for me to realize that, no, I don't have to. I don't have to work hard to achieve all of that, because we are limitless. We can make anything happen, and we don't have to work hard to have a good life and to have lots of money and to have a great career. So that's for me personally the big aha moment that I had out of this learning, out of this realization, and that I don't have to limit myself from my past. My past is my past. That's what I experienced. But if I decide to, if I want to, I can be a very different person from now on forwards, and I can live a very different life. So that's what I want to share with you today, because we are really this limitless and have all of these possibilities in the universe. If we think about looking at all of the people in the world, and if we think of some people, of what they have achieved in their lives, in whatever way, in terms of having the happiest life, having the most money, having the biggest celebrity status, whatever you can experience, going to the moon, all of this, we have achieved as human beings already so much. And if one person has achieved something, you can achieve it as well. It is in your realm of possibilities. We just don't trust ourselves. We don't believe enough in ourselves that we can really do it. And then there are as well some other laws that we can use for it to actually come quicker and easier into our lives than we think it has to be. We think maybe it has to be painful and it has to take a lot of time, but no, it doesn't have to. So, and what we have experienced so far as well in our way of being human beings is even a limitation in itself. This 3D world of what we have created is already mind-blowing and amazing, but there is even more. It's limitless. So there is even more, and we know that we're going to discover more and evolve more in the coming years to come. So we need, of course, people as well who think limitless, because we want to evolve, because we want to develop technology and everything around us. And you can be part of that. You can be somebody who starts to understand that what you are currently living doesn't have to mean that you just keep in that same path. You're just going to go through that tunnel and there is no other way. There are other ways. And for sure, I'm going to share more with you in the future. And something that really helped me being on that travel is the disconnecting from my past. So because I was gone, right? I was gone out of my home. I was gone out of my life. I left my corporate career. I was in a very, very fortunate position to experience more that disconnection and to listen more inside of myself, what I truly wanted to do. What did I wanted to experience on that day? What did I not want to experience? Or what did I discover that I actually didn't like? And if I didn't like it, why should I be doing it? Of course, that travel was really exponentially increasing that experience. If I imagine that I would be on that retreat, have some of these realization and go back into exactly my own life, which a lot of people are doing, I would have found it harder to stay in that spirit and really discover myself, because I would be busy again living my old self in my old life. So I am so grateful that I was able to have this time to disconnect from my life and really take the opportunity while I was by myself for quite a few weeks to listen more inside of me, to connect more with my higher self, with my inner voice, and truly start to listen, try things out, stop doing things that maybe somebody would just think that you should be doing. I give you a very easy example. For example, I was in Nashville and I really wanted to experience Nashville before. I found it really exciting to experience the music scene, and I had a really good time in Nashville. But when I arrived and I saw these places with all the music, I felt like that this is not what really truly excites me. I love music and I love to listen to music, but maybe at that point in my life, I just didn't want to spend hours and hours in one of these bars to listen to great musicians. So I just didn't. And for some people, it might sound crazy. What? You went to Nashville and you didn't listen all the time to music, or not even like properly once? Yeah, I know. It sounds maybe crazy, but I listened to myself and I did what I wanted to do and not what people would think that you should be doing. That's of course one of the things anyway, the should. So stay away from the shoulds, of course. I talked about this before, that using the word should and thinking in that realm of, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, is very limiting and actually creates as well an area of being limited and telling yourself even what you need to do now. So that was as well one of the things that I was able to again take more out of my life, my beliefs, my thoughts, and what other people think I should be doing, even myself, what I should be doing. Take it just away and just do whatever you want to do. If you want to go and watch the new Matrix movie on Christmas Day, so be it. Actually, in the US, it's much more normal apparently to go to the cinema on Christmas Day anyway. So that's what I did. I just did what I wanted to do. And I had the fortunate way that I had this travel after my first retreat, after having all of this realization. But it's really this feeling that I have now that there is more out there, that there are more options for me, and that if I start learning to say more no to certain things, then automatically doors will open to me. That's what I really truly understand now and know now, that we really want to truly do what we enjoy and where our heart is, where our passion is. And if we can do more of that, if we can say more no to other things that we really don't fully connect with, then everything starts to fall into place. It's like an energy starts to flow inside of you and all around you that was kind of locked in. It's like a flood door opens. And what happens is that first of all, you feel more inspired. You feel more creativity inside of you. And creativity means you are the creator. You create your life. And things come to you automatically suddenly. It all feels more easier. And synchronicities start to happen in your life. Things just, you think about what you want to do and you visualize of where it might go, and suddenly really surprising things happen to you in your life, which makes it easier, because you suddenly truly start spending more of your time in your day in that space of really knowing what you want to do, how you want to live your life, and how you want to create it. And I know, first of all, don't get me wrong, I am at the start of the journey. I'm just discovering this. But it's already mind-blowing. Just the start of it is already mind-blowing. And that's why I want to share more about this with you, because that's what I want for you to experience as well. And there's going to be so much more. And I know it sounds hard. Maybe you feel that, yes, there are a few things in your life that you would love to not do, or you would love to get away from, or let go of in your life. And if you can find some bravery in your life to start practicing to let these things go and to say no to things, but as well to people in your life, you will see it will turn out good. It will enrich your life to a place that you cannot even experience. And one of the things that is a really important ingredient to this is having trust in something that is bigger than who we are in the 3D world. And you can name it and you can choose whatever it's going to be. You can trust in the universe. You can trust in the universal energy all around us and inside of us. You can trust in God. You can trust in your higher self. You can call it whatever you want. But if you start letting go of things in your life and you feel some fear in you about the future, of what it would mean to your life, try to bring more of that trust into that higher power into your life, that if you truly become your true self and what your passion is, and you do what really makes you happy, what brings you joy, what brings you love in your life, and let go of anything else that doesn't do that in your life, trust that this higher power will make your life so much better, and that you will be fine. You will be taken care of. You will feel better. You will have enough money, more than enough money in your life. You will find a better work if that's what you want to do. You will find your dream job. All of that will happen. But what needs to happen is for you to have that trust against that fear. You want to let go of that fear that is holding you back from doing it at this moment in time. You want to let go of that fear, and you want to trust more in yourself, in your higher self, in that higher power that is out there, that is in here, inside of all of us. And yeah, one of the questions, and you might want to try it out as well, that I have heard in one of the retreats, which I really love to use now more in my life, is it loving to me? So if I make a decision to do something, or if I should be doing it or not, if I should go that next step or not, ask yourself the question, is this loving to me? Is this showing pure love for myself if I do it? And if the feeling, if the insight, if the answer is no, then don't do it. Just say no. I know. It sounds harder than it is, but when you're starting, you get better and better at it. So that is the big aha moment, one of them, but probably the biggest that I had throughout my travel. And like I said, the being away from home has really helped me to try it all out and play with it and getting to know myself better. And yeah, so now I'm back home. So how is it now being back home just, over a week? Like I said already, I'm first of all so grateful to come home and not completely go back and slot back into exactly how my life was before. I said that I left my job, I'm creating my own business, and my doors are wide open, right? So some of you might think that is super scary, that I don't have a job anymore and I'm creating my own business. For me, this is literally the best position I could ever be in. I can literally do whatever I want now, and whatever message I get from my higher self of what I want to do now in the future, but as well just in the next week, in the next months, in the next 12 months. I can now truly do not what I think I should be doing, but really what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to focus on now. But there is an element of focus and work. What I have realized as well, which everybody says, is that if you come back from such an experience in a meditation retreat or in a place where you are kind of in a bubble and you have these amazing experiences, there is of course the chance that you go back and you forget all about it, and you just slot back into your old life, into your old self, into your old habits, into your old patterns. That means is that when you go back home, it takes some work. So I would say that all of my life is really, of course it's made out of over 40 years, but it's really created out of the last 20 years as well of adulthood, where I could easily just go back into my old self. And what I referenced earlier is just start working hard again to achieve everything that I want. But I'm not going to do that. And how I'm not going to do that is that I focus, I meditate, I go deeper and deeper and practice my meditations every day. Once per day, most of the times twice per day. I do different kinds of meditation to create different kinds of practices and get better at it. And then whatever I experience or learn in my meditation, I try to bring back into the 3D world. I try to stay connected with that higher power, with that universal energy throughout my day. So I keep reminding myself of the new way of how I want to live my life. And that takes the work, and it takes the focus and the attention and the energy to pulling it into the 3D world, especially at the beginning when we're not so good at it yet. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now since a week, being back home. I'm meditating a lot. I'm still studying all of this work that I learned about to get better at it, because I know that this is just the beginning and there is so much more for me to experience, and I'm super excited. Because if you realize for the first time, and if you connect with that, if you connect with your emotions so much more powerful than ever before in your life, you really don't want to not have that experience. You want to keep going because it feels amazing. And why would you ever want to go back to your old life where you felt less love and less joy and less connected? Of course you don't want to do that. So that's why I'm doing the work now, and I'm excited to find out of how far this goes. I know it's limitless because we are all unlimited. So that's my message for you today. You are a limitless being. There are unlimited possibilities out there for you. So that's what I wanted to share with you in today's episode. I hope you can take something away for yourself. Maybe you have even been inspired a little bit to try out to say a little bit more no in your life, to let something go out of your life that just doesn't feel right to you or doesn't give you enough of the good emotions that you want to feel. And make sure to come back to the next few episodes. Make sure that you listen to it or you watch it on YouTube, because I'm going to share more of what I experienced and what I have learned. And together we're gonna evolve and we're gonna develop. And let me know if you have any questions to this. Leave me a comment, send me an email, send me a DM. I want to know what your questions are. I want to know of what you want to hear more about. I want to serve you. That's why I'm here. I want to bring all of this to you as well. That's my mission. That's my passion. So thank you so much. I'm here to inspire you. So with that, I love you and leave you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.